to Aceh, and it's January 2005. It's flat. I don't even know how to explain. There's no words. There's nothing. It's just flat. Their schools were gone. Their homes were gone. Their families were gone. Their children were gone. There's very little hope at that point that you're gonna recover from the experience, or that your community is gonna recover from the tsunami. We had never seen such a humanitarian disaster in modern history at that time.
I'm grateful to the former presidents Clinton and Bush for taking on this important responsibility and for serving our country once again.
When the tsunami happened, the Secretary General of the United Nations at the time, his name was Kofi Annan, and he asked President Clinton if he could be involved because it was so massive and needed so much just coordination in terms of the response. It's about 230,000 lives lost, $10 billion in damages across 12 countries. And some of those countries wanted support, others didn't, so it was a complex initiative. He wasn't given sort of a clear direction, but he had a vision. One of the first trips to Aceh, he had held a conference, and he said, This is a whole new day
in the expenditure of aid.
And most of us were like, what is he talking about? He knew, he already knew. He had already mapped out, we're gonna have a system, it's gonna end up in the government, it's gonna track who's doing what, where, when. And it's not just to hold the governments accountable, but to hold ourselves accountable as donors. At that time, that was unheard of.
We have a moral obligation to build these areas back better than they were before the crisis began.
He not only did what he promised to do, but he took it up a notch that now, 10 years later, we can look back and say, wow, what he did was extraordinary.